Uhambo Lwami
on the Mid-Morning Hangout.
Welcome to the second hour of the Mid-Morning Hangout. He has the coolest duo. Always going to be hanging out with somebody cool. Ngolishano on Uhambo Lwami. And today is absolutely no different. We've got the one, the only, Sakumzi.
Oh my God, what? No, we don't.
Yes, we just did.
You might know him as Yanga.
Yeah.
Today's actually a name, what day is it today?
It is Name Yourself Day.
Name Yourself Day. So, understand?
Okay, big sack.
Big sack. Okay, all right. But we just played By Any Means with this dog. Tell us how that song came about, and welcome to Kakasi FM.
Thank you so much for having me. Top of the morning to everybody. Glad to be in Durban. How did the song come about?
Yeah.
I think it was just a moment of my dreams coming true at some point. Like, I never thought Stogie would ever hit me up and ask for a verse for me. So, I went to his spot, and at the time, all we had was the beat. So I recorded my verse first. And then when I came back, there was an MT on it. There was, a dope hook. And I think that song just snowballed into like a hustler's anthem, Yeah.
It really is.
Well, you getting into the music game, a lot of people would start off by rapping. You started off rather in the beginning of your career. You were writing a lot of songs. To name a few, you wrote a song, Eting As Feeling Out by Questa, Mabala, 10 Fingers Got AKA and a Nazi, just to name a few. What are some of the other bigger songs or other big songs you have either produced, written, or was a part of the writing team? I
think one of my first ones, we album Mega Sugar Smacks, was like a skit. That was how I actually got into like Balela Banyamba and Ngoma, because I spent so much time in studio with them while I was doing my own music, so I just chip in with my ideas, But my favorite one, I think, that's not mine, I think is Sweet Fire by AKA, yeah, that one I really like.
And what's your writing process? Like, do you just get inspired, or is it based on a true story, or is it, what's your writing process?
I try to like Zamuma Mela, man, in studio, a lot of people don't listen in studio, actually, which is weird. Like, people come in with like a plan and try to make, I'd like to leave my ego and my pride and insecurities and all of that at the door, so that the creative space like reflects the energies in the room, So yeah, I just try and switch off a lot, and I might smoke some here and there,
For inspiration. And which song is special to you? Like, out of all the songs you've written and for yourself and others, which song would you say, this song, when I wrote it, man, I felt it, and it is so special to me?
Man, I wish I could tell you a song that was out, but like my favorite song that I've written of all time is called Mbaliam. I wrote that around the time, actually before I made Becoming a Pop Star, but I haven't released it because, I think the timing will come.
What's that one about?
Yeah,
it's about my mother.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
My mom and I, we don't really have. She's not a vocal person, and I think I get that from her. So we don't communicate in words, but we're very close to each other. So that was one of the songs where I was able to like actually speak and stuff.
Oh, that is
so.
No, I can't wait to hear
You see that reaction? That's why the song is not out.
So you're a mama's boy.
Like, you don't need all that.
Nah, I'm not really. I'm not
so
really.
Young got to protect his street cred.
No, I'm not a mama's boy. I take from both my parents. My dad was a Rolling Stone, man. He tried this Joburg thing before me, So I'm just continuing his legacy here.
Let me get a bit technical with you. Yeah. Music does a lot of things for many people. There's a study in 2011. Several studies suggest umculo is therapy. It enhances people's physical, psychological, cognitive,
really
emotional. What does music do for you, especially your music?
Yeah, it's healing. Like I tell you, because when I figure out, I was coming from the Eastern Cape, so dinalando baish. Anfunu tetes new languages, no, and then I kind of got into the swing of things, and I started mixing it up, and then I started doing that in the music. But now what the problem becomes is that when you start mixing up all the languages in the music, you lose yourself, And for me to find myself was through music, So I had to literally go back into who I am and my culture, my family tree, my traditions, and it was so easy for me to connect with who I really am. So I don't know if I would be able to do that if I wasn't doing music. So I would say it's a very healing thing for me,
Well, we're hanging out with Yanga Chief right here on the Mid-Morning Hangout on Gagasi FM. Magutu nombuzo ufuna kumbuza wona, or anything you'd like to say to him. Any compliment, any DA, anything you'd like to say. Go over to our Facebook page, the Mid-Morning Hangout on Gagasi FM on Facebook, Mid-Morning Zeri on Twitter. Numbers phone 031 537 3000.
Uhambo Lwami
On the Mid-Morning Hangout.
Gagasi FM. Nangu uMthatha here, Yanga Chief, Boy TD, Koala and Ricky Rick. Slenaye uMthatha. Today it is Yanga Chief and Slenaye. We want to hang out with him. If you want to ask him anything, make sure we ask phone 031 537 3000. I was phone number like Facebook page to the Mid-Morning Hangout on Gagasi FM and drop a question there. So
4 days ago, you posted a photo of yourself with the honorable one, the privilege of meeting King Khulekani Zwelibanzi Dalingep.
Yep.
What did that mean to you?
I think it's just like a very like crazy experience, you know, because at the time when I referenced him in the song, you know, I wasn't in the best phase. Also, I really felt misunderstood and underappreciated, you know, and he was obviously in jail at the time. So when the song got to him, you know, he mentioned that, you know, I was one of the only people that was still keeping, you know, his name alive and stuff. And that's what, like, the song did for me also, you know. I could really relate to what position he's in. And it's crazy that the song actually changed my career, you know, and gave me, like, that kind of trajectory. But on a cultural level, like, I mean, it's almost like there was no other way I would be able to meet the man himself, you know.
That's such a cool story. So you started off as a music video director, right, in 2008, working with the likes of Questa, Boom Shakalaka was a video, Squatter Camp's Hey also, which won an award. But what was the turning point of your career, would you say?
Turning point, I think, Run Josie. You know, I was also fortunate enough to direct that one, but, you know, it was just a perfect time for me because I had literally just decided, you know what, I'm not going to do like the videography stuff anymore. And I'm going to do what I came to Joburg to do, which is make music. And, you know, that song literally kickstarted that whole entire journey.
Got a call from Ubeki. Let's find out what he has to say. Peggy, welcome to Kakas Pitwamjan. Sikhulupila kakhulu siphethe uYanga la ufuna ukukhuluma naye.
Ngifuna ukukhuluma naye ubhuti wami, ngifuna ukukhuluma naye ubhuti wami, ngiyengimude ngempela. My brother Chief.
Hey Tada.
Khamba kahle ubhuti wami.
Mnandi.
Kanti kazilami. Kazilami awungitshele kazilami ngoba na ngincede uyimentionile kazilami. Mhlawumbe ubucabanga ukuthi sithi isikhathi right ukugegela. So ngiyakuzwa umention ama timing ukuthi hayi ngathi asilavo.
Say that again, so anguzwa.
I'll pin the bafana.
Ngithuyanga la seyimentionile imbali yami.
Yeah.
Mhlawumbe becabanga ukuthi
We want the sound.
Yeah, thina sifuna umculo siphila ngomculo.
Yeah, angithi manje ngiqeda ukukhipha i-pop star, ne?
Sure.
A pop star is actually, it's a trilogy, so Z3, pop star 1, 2, 3. So I think you're going pop star 2. Mara, we has been keeper every year.
All right.
So this year.
Oh, okay. I see.
You heard it first. Yeah. Thank you so much, Big.
All right, thanks.
So in late 2019, you were on an interview on Slicker on Live. You actually said something that got your fans in an uprising. You said you were quitting music.
We're like,
what got you into that space, and what actually persuaded you from your fans to say Azukutini and Kube?
I think it's what we spoke about earlier, you know, identity and things like that, and just feeling unappreciated, you know. I think, you know, the music has always been successful for me, you know, and I just felt at the time that I personally wasn't reflecting that, you know, and I wasn't getting what I was putting in. And funny enough, when I decided, you know what, for my last song, I'm gonna actually do something that's just plain Xhosa and hard, and it just like I'm going out with a bang, you know. And crazy that I put that song out, and you know, the people just decided that I'm not going anywhere.
Speaking of you and putting out a song in Xhosa and you choosing to kind of rap in your home language, how's that been? How's that been received, you know? And do you find that you have much challenges? Because I'm like, because I know Nasty C, we interviewed Nasty C, and he is set on rapping in English, you know, for his own reasons. But you turned the curve. You're like, hey, Yazin, I'm going to rap in Xhosa. What inspired that, and how have you found reception?
As far back as I can remember, like I always like rapped in Xhosa, even in high school. I remember when my man was still a thing, and I was like, I'm gonna go to Joburg and show Slicker that I'm way better than my man. You know, I got these bars, you know. And then I came to Joburg, and I was like, people won't understand, you know. But it's also like a thing of, you know, when you rap in your own language, I think even other cultures and people that speak other languages like respect it more, and they love it more because it's that like authentic, and it's what they expect, you know. Other than some mixture of languages and whatever, you know. But for me, I think I resonate more in my home language, you know. So yeah.
Well, there's a compliment here coming in from uNomathemba Mkhwanaze Dumbe. Uthi ngicela ukubuza kuYanga ukuthi waqala eneminyaka emingaka ukucula, and also I want to say ukuthi uyangibusisa abantu icrush yami.
Oh. Okay.
I tried to say it the way you said it, Angazi. So what do you have to say to that? When did you start being interested in the music game?
I started, I think, my brother was always like an Eminem fan, you know, so he put me into rap. And then, but like Jay, I was still listening to Tupac and Biggie, you know. But he was obsessed with Eminem, and I only started being obsessed with the rapper when 50 Cent came along. And then
when 50 Cent came along, he shook a lot of
he
hated him with the underdog eye.
You know what I mean? So I was really obsessed with that. And then Squatter Camp came along, and they are the ones that actually showed me that you can rap in your home language. Because before then, like the only like local sound I was listening to was Kwaito, you know, TKZ and stuff. So when they came along, like I was like so shocked, you know. I remember taking a CD, taking it back and then just bumping it the whole day. But a funny thing about the Squatter Camp album, that there's a song there called Tap That Ass, you know. And these guys, like, they're hardcore rappers from Joburg, you know. And at that time, I'd never been to Joburg, but they like did like an R&B song. It's like 1.5 minutes, but it's off key, you know. But I really like took that in. Like, they're so brave and so confident that they could put a song like that on their album. And I think it you can also tell in some of the music that I make. I take those chances.
I like that.
So what do you have to say to the other part of?
I don't know. My girl is here. Maybe she can speak on that.
But your girl knows that you got people got crushes on you.
How do you handle that when somebody slides into your DM and be like, "Yanga, take me, I'm you"?
Oh wow!
I don't get those things. I don't know what you're talking about.
We're gonna have Yanga Chief, man. Hit us up if you want to talk to him. It's 0315373000. No, we have a Facebook page, the Mid-Morning Hangout on Gagasi FM.
Uhambo Lwami
on the Mid-Morning Hangout.
Gagasi FM is Yanga Chief with BBAF, and Boyd's show is a baddie. Show is a baddie, you know. And besuna kubuza kwenu ukuthi le ngoma lena it was inspired by
it was just inspired by like a really good beat, you know. It was actually meant to be just like a freestyle song that I dropped during lockdown and stuff, you know. It just took a while to get everything together, so it became the lead single of the album.
And then how did Boyti?
You know, at the end of the song, I think at the time I was doing like a verse for her song Ndakubeta on her album. So when I got to that part, I was just, Boyti, and nice off the tongue, you know, okay, is she bad? Definitely, all right. And then I see P, because I was just like, let's pull like a Kwaito thing and just, you know, just an undeniable fact. You know
that Boyti is Luyanda on our Facebook page. Good morning, guys. I'm an upcoming artist, Konala Tegwini. Been trying to get out there and do my thing. But the problem is I'm not getting a lot of recognition as much as I would want. How does one get in touch with big labels and get out there in the game?
I don't know. It took me 10 years.
Jeez.
So, you know, my advice might not be the best, you know. But I would say just... I'd have to hear the music also before I give you this advice. But generally, I think just keep going, man. You know, just keep pushing your original sound and being yourself through your music, and keep telling your everyday stories through your music, because you don't want to rap about one thing and then it doesn't work and now I have to find something else. You know, just go on a day-to-day period, and trust me, people will start relating to your music, you know.
So you released Popstar, right, last year. How's it going? How's it being received?
I think it's great. I think it's album of the year, you know, honestly.
We're going to manifest that.
Yeah, I think last year, you know, I was happy to walk away with the best hip hop at the Summers. And when I was doing this album, I wanted to walk away with the best album overall at the Summers, you know. So I think so far so good, because we don't know who's in that category yet.
The powers that be, honestly.
Yeah, so far I'm still very much sure that I'm there. And yeah, so right now we're starting to shoot the videos, you know, and that's going to be like the next chapter for the album, which I'm very excited for.
Well, you just mentioned that prior to you making it in the industry, uMthatha iminyaka eyishumi. So it was 10 years before you made it. You've made it, you're here now. What do you think will keep you for the next 10 years in the game?
Wow. I could have never like foreseen the last 10 years. You know, I'm really like a day-to-day person. My next goal is to actually like get a Grammy, you know. I'm really just like focused on making a better album than before. And I think if I can keep that mentality, then I'll be here for more than 10 years.
And why the name Popstar, dude? You know, why that particular name?
Just based off of popular culture, you know. And I think there's also the stigma of pop in SA hip-hop, which makes absolutely no sense to me, because hip-hop is pop culture, you know what I mean? And therefore, I just wanted to destigmatize it. I wanted to own it, and I want the game to grow from just whatever it is right now, you know. There's a lot of like rappers that are talented musicians, you know, that are afraid to, you know, venture out into that side of themselves, and I'm just trying to free them, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the age of social media, the age of YouTube and all these accessible things everywhere in the internet. Quinton is asking, should one relocate to get their career off? Should one move to a Joburg or a Durban or a Cape Town to get their career kick-started? Or is it possible to do it wherever it is that you are in this country?
I think that's just a personal thing. Like, you need to decide that for yourself. What resources do you have? Where you're going? How are you going to survive? What the plan is? What are you willing to go through? What you're willing to put up with? Who do you know? You know, there's so many questions, and I think it's always like a personal thing. You might know more people in your own city that could do more for you than just being stranded in Joburg or any of these other cities. True. You know? Yeah, it's personal.
And then with Popstar, why I'm featuring AKA? Because we were like waiting for like a collab. Because you're close, right?
Yeah, look, I think I featured him on my last album. He featured me on Bova Mania also, like 2 songs. So it just was kind of like an overload. And it was like so expected that I just wanted to, like, you know, save it for like when it's wanted. You know, like now everybody asking me, now it's gonna come, you know. But we got a lot of songs together. I think, you know, it would be an overnight thing for us to even drop like a collaboration type of project.
Who is he to you, AKA? Because I know he's been involved in your career way back. Who is he to you? Is it like a big brother, like a mentor?
Like a little
BFF?
brother. I'm
know.
like older than the homie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys.
Guys.
And you look
Right.
Guys.
Hey.
Guys.
You should see him blushing.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Don't let the braids fool you. I'm an OG already, you know. But yeah, he's a very close friend, man. He's you know, one of those rare instances in the game where you find like a real one. And he's someone that lets me be myself, you know, never like, you know, on my case about, man, you didn't hit me or whatever. We can go for like weeks not speaking and then spend the next 3 weeks together making fire music or just partying together or whatever, and then go back to being ourselves, you know. It's just a little bit unfortunate that like we're actually competitors in the game. But like I think our friendship will always survive that.
All right, so it took you 10 years, you said, to kind of build your career up.
Yeah.
What are you... How are you going to keep yourself relevant for the next 10 years? Like, are you going to diversify? What's the future looking like for Uyanga? Because longevity is very hard to maintain in the industry, you know, and if you do it, you have to have like a strategy and a plan. What's yours?
Strategy and a plan. Yo, scary.
You have to.
Look, I've always felt like I'm my strategy and I'm my plan, you know. As long as I'm able to make decisions based on what I want to do and not what other people think I should do, I think that will always keep me above the rest. Right now, I mean, I'm working on a documentary for like a famous footballer that I can't really talk about yet, but like I'm directing that, you know. So like in film, I'm also trying to just keep doing strides in that, because I just want to do things that entertain me on a daily basis. You know, I don't want to like feel like I have to do anything to survive or anything. I did that for the first 10 years. So like right now, I'm getting more rewards just like doing what I'm good at and what I enjoy doing.
Got you.
Yeah.
That is Yanga Chief right here on the Mid-Morning Hangout. Ooh, abanye la ku Facebook, but the king is in the building. Actually, uMthatha mabaso, the king is definitely in the building. Abalaleli bakho nabalandeli bakho bayakuthanda. Bafuna ukukulandela. Where can we search, find, and follow Yanga Chief? I think we've done a lot of English in this. I want to do some Xhosa and Zulu now. So abalandeli bakho bakuthola ke phone.
Abalandeli bangangifumana ku Instagram @itsyanga_chief. Bangangifumana ku Twitter @itsyanga_chief, na ku Triller if nikhona @itsyanga_chief, kwanye na ku Facebook Yanga Chief fan page. But otherwise nizanibona estratweni ndibhizi anzange like eDurban laphi weekend yonke.
What's up?
I'm actually on a tour, so I'm coming to your city, Durban, East London, Cape Town, Queenstown. It's called the Say the Chief tour. So nizanibona endleleni, just pull up.
I know Sunday you're going to be at Envy.
Yes. I'm gonna be at Envy. Yeah, man, pull up. Let's have a good time. You know, last time I was there was a couple weeks ago, and I met some dope ass rugby players. So you guys have got a lot of rugby players this side, and I'm a huge Sharks fan. So you know it's gonna be a turn up. Pull up on us.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time. Have a fantastic weekend. Durban is a beautiful, beautiful place, and I know you're gonna enjoy it. And all the best on your journey, and all the best on your tour. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Uhambo Lwami
On the Mid-Morning Hangout.